Welcome to the Zeducation Podcast, where it's all about helping people and organizations unleash their greatness. The Zeducation Podcast features lively discussions.
When they share it, you see that they're beginning to feel empowered.
My heart, it's full of pride for me to be at Maitai Samoa.
You don't necessarily need a degree these days. There's so many pathways to success.
Welcome to the Zeducation Podcast. Welcome to the Zeducation Podcast. We're here to help you succeed both professionally and personally. Today, we're tackling one of the most powerful skills you can develop, building long-lasting relationships and influencing people. Whether you're striving to advance in your career, grow your business, or enrich your personal life, strong relationships and the ability to influence others is key. I've invited our guest, Jason Venu, on the show today, who is the founder and mastermind behind the global success of his insurance company, Coversure. With over 17 years of experience in creating deep, trust-based connections that have transformed his company and grown from New Zealand to international. We will discuss strategies and tips that can help you apply and enhance your relationships and influence, so you don't want to miss out on this episode. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey,
how you doing? And say hello to our listeners.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me on board. It's awesome to be here. And hello to everyone out there listening into this podcast. Yeah.
Awesome. Good to have you on the show, brother. Let's talk about your insurance company. What made you get into this space? Why this for a business?
Yeah, so I got into insurance during my time at university. And then I was AA insurance for about 9 years. Wanted to do something different. So then I became a domestic broker at another brokerage called PIC, awesome crowd. And then about close to 3 years into that, I just wanted to do, again, something different. And if it wasn't for my dad backing me up and my wife's, being a solid rock throughout all of this journey, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, it's, just always wanted to do something different. I didn't have a plan for Coversure to be what it is today. It sort of just evolved. But you just got to navigate it and go through with it and just see what comes out.
Nice. What was going from having a job and then transitioning into a business?
Yeah.
For a lot of people, that's kind of nerve-wracking, That's a big leap of faith, especially when you're comfortable and you've got a sustainable income, right? So with that move, what were some of the challenges that you encountered, and I guess what helped you overcome that when starting a business?
Oh, man, I think the biggest thing is fear. Just fear of leaving the safety of income coming in, regular income coming in, especially when you got, I think we just had Aiden at that time. He's 9 now, and we had just got our first home. So having that was a big fear, but I think, speaking to the right people in your circles really, really helps. The first person I called that I wanted to leave and just do something was my wife. And I think the first thing she said to me was, okay, call your dad. Because I think she just thought my dad would talk me out of it and talk some sense into me, because she thought maybe I was just going through a weird phase or a weird buzz. So I called my dad and I said, oh man, Dad, I want to leave work. I want to do something different. And he's like, oh, okay, do you have another job? And I said, nah, I don't. And then I was bracing for it, My Samoan dad just gonna shatter my dreams, talk some sense into me. But he asked me one question. He said, will leaving make you happy? And I said, yeah, I think it will. And then he just said, do it. And I was just like, oh, is this my dad? So I called up my wife, and then she was shocked. The one guy who thought was on her team went the other way. So but there's a whole lot of little things that fall into play. So that was the first step, actually seeking that support from the one guy that would always say, no, don't do that, and actually going, you know what, do it. That led me on this journey from there. So if it wasn't for him, it's it's hard to put into words the feeling I felt back then.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome. And I think it goes to show the importance of getting that support.
Yeah,
especially from a confidence point of view. Because you are taking a leap of faith into unfamiliar territory. You've never done it before.
Yeah.
But when you've got someone behind you saying, "Look, I've got your back no matter what."
Exactly.
That gives you strength to just try anything, right? And that's what you want. So let's talk about obviously starting a business, and your business is evolved around, a lot of it is people. It's very service oriented. So the people skills is so important. Can you talk to us about that and some tips around, I guess, building relationships with people and customers?
So I think the biggest thing is just be yourself. Don't try and conform to something that you're not. You're either genuine and authentic and you just want to do the right thing, or you're not, and that's okay. Like, you are who you are. And I had to learn that real quickly. I had to learn that real fast. So building relationships with our clients, each client knows that they're important, not only to me, but also to our company. And I think it comes down to the values that were installed to us by my parents. If you're going to make a promise, you deliver. Be kind to people, just serve people with aroha, grace. So Coversure was built on that. Our mission is to reach the uninsured and help them live life covered, right? So how do we reach people? We talk to them. We go out there. We engage with the community. And then word starts to get around, like, hey man, there's this guy out there. He actually wasn't doing the hard sell. He actually taught me about insurance and how insurance actually works and what the benefits are to insurance, not only to myself, but my family if something happens to me, So when word started getting around about how we went about it and what our point of difference was, it just grew and grew and grew from there. But then as you grow, challenges come about, like, okay, we now got these sort of big numbers coming on. How do we navigate this? Then you got systems to worry about. So you got a whole lot of things that just keep popping up all the time. The business is always evolving, as you've witnessed.
I love that. Some great advice for our listeners. Just be yourself. And people can tell if you're genuine or not.
That's right, yeah.
And I love that saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's right.
Genuine first. Yeah. So I really love that. And you talked about, that helped you grow your business.
Yes.
And that was the kind of like the edge and the difference that made you stand out from the crowd, right? There's a lot of insurance companies out there doing the same thing, but what makes you stand out? And it's how you serve your customer, and it's all about the customer. Now, you talked about growing as a business. Your business has gone from New Zealand to international in the Philippines, right? And like you said, you get challenges popping up left and right.
Yep.
How do you, in spite of your business growing and all these changes popping left and right, still stay true to the customer and it's centered and that you're serving them and making them feel important? How do you stay true to that?
Yeah, I think, it comes back to core values that you have as a person, but also in your business. So one of the biggest things that I am a believer in is every decision that we make not only has to serve our clients, but also has to serve our team. Because if our team aren't, in it, if they're not happy, then that has a flow-on effect onto our clients. So everything that we do has to tick the boxes, right? So we explored the Philippines because one of the things I wanted to do was grow. I wanted to grow, but how do we grow and be sustainable? You can't grow and then not have any money, right? So we looked at the Philippines and we saw an opportunity where we could actually have an awesome support team overseas to help support our advisors here in New Zealand, okay? And surprisingly, because we thought, maybe we're not going to grow in New Zealand because now we're growing in the Philippines. But since then, we've actually grown more here than we have over there. And again, it comes down to sustainable growth, right? So there are certain aspects of the business that are done overseas to help facilitate our growth here in New Zealand. So no, we're not taking jobs away from New Zealand. The way I see it is we're able to create more jobs here in New Zealand, create more opportunities for people to come work in financial services here in New Zealand, because we have an amazing team in the Philippines that help keep us sustainable, but still not compromise on our service to our clients, but also support to our team.
I love that. I think that's a great perspective and insight around, especially when you've got a team here in New Zealand and a team in the Philippines. How do you continue to serve both the customer and balance serving the team as well, right?
Yes.
So you can't be unbalanced there, right? And so I like the highlight there around values and the power of using values.
Yes.
And the values aren't just for the customers so that we can serve them good. Yeah. It's also for the inward-facing customers, which are our team.
That's right.
Is right. The values is to help serve them. If they're happy, they're happy. And I love that. It goes back to what your dad said. Son, are you happy? Then do it.
Yeah.
I love that. That's probably like one of the best advice and questions.
Oh man, it's one of those things that I still remember that phone call. Like, that's one of those phone calls that you just know where you were at that, point in time in your life, what the weather was like, who was in the office, where it's just that phone call will be with me forever, But again, so that was one phone call. Man, I've made so many phone calls along this journey to people that have, that I've looked up to and that have actually reciprocated and helped me on my journey, One of the biggest things is that after I spoke to my dad, I was like, okay, cool. Now what am I going to do? So I spoke to, I had an opportunity to get into life insurance and to be like, my own, what do you call it, sole trader. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to do that. But I'm still really scared because I'd rather go into the safety of employment, but just do something awesome. So I spoke with Chris Curtin. So Chris Curtin, he's an amazing leader that I've looked up to a lot. He's used to be the CEO of AA Insurance, and he took it from a staff of I think 9 or less than 9 or himself to over 200 when he left, right? And I just messaged him, I said, man, can I give you a call? I'm at a crossroads in my life. So he flicked me his number. He said, yeah, give me a call, Jason. Give me a call. I'm here to help. And so I gave him a call and I said, look, Chris, this is where I'm at. I've got this opportunity to go down this path and be a sole trader, be my own business. I've just got this other opportunity where I can go join another brokerage and be on the senior level and earning this much income. And he goes, well, what do you want to do? And I say, well, the path of going and being a sole trader, starting your business excites me more, So he said, do that. And I said, yeah, but I mean, what about this? What if I start this business and I flop? What if I've got mouths to feed? I'm scared I'm going to fail. And he goes, yeah, but what happens when you fail? It's not the end of the world, right? You just go down that path, and if you fail, so be it. Go back and go the other way. It's all good. There's no shame. There's nothing wrong in failing. If anything, the more you fail, the more successful you'll be in the end because you learn from it. But you got to fail fast. And boy, have I failed fast a lot of times. My wife never lets it down.
I love it. And it's redefining what failure is. And I love that saying around success. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a part of success. And
correct.
Leveraging those failures or those learning moments as stepping stones towards achieving your goal. I think it's what I really liked around what you said is around just picking up the phone. Yeah. And calling people and asking, bouncing ideas, asking for feedback.
Yeah, that's right.
And especially those people who are quite influential. I'm keen to hear, I'm very curious how you went, okay, cool, you've got all the support now.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. You're still a little bit nerve-wracking, but nobody knows you. Nobody has heard of you, right? I don't know if you've made your first client yet. How did you go from there and starting to build your influence?
Yeah, so I started off with my closest circles, said, oh, hey, friends, this is what I'm doing now. And I'm thinking that all my friends will just rush to my door. Nah, it doesn't work like that. You got to earn their trust. And you know what? I didn't take offense to that. I saw it as a challenge again. And I saw it as, I'd be the same. If people want my business, you got to earn it, So, but we got a couple. And I think delivering on service was key. that was our biggest point of difference, is that we went in educating people about insurance, not doing the hard sell. And it was from there that all it takes is one. That one person called up his mum, said, hey, mum, come and see this guy. I learned so much in like an hour with this guy about insurance and how it could benefit not only me, but you. And then same thing, that mum had work friends, you know. So it just takes one person to have that leap of faith in you to really grow. And then after that, we all of a sudden had this big social media presence on Facebook. So that just blew up. And from there, we started engaging with businesses. So that was the first for us, working with business owners and how to, you know, look after their client base. So like gyms, which is how we met, you know, when you're doing your design. So we found that actually tapping into community groups is probably what we liked the most, because, you know, there's a lot of people out there that don't understand the concept of insurance or just don't know anything about it. And strength in numbers. So what I found is that when people are in groups, they have confidence, they have the strength, they can ask questions because they're with their friends. They'll try and bring you down with their questions, but man, you got to take the questions and you got to answer them. And it's through there you gain trust. You know, that's how you influence people, is by getting their trust, by, you know, taking the hard questions. And one of the things that I've had to learn as a business owner and as a person is I've had to learn with being comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know, that takes a long time. That took me a long time to get used to, because a lot of people don't know this about me, but I prefer to just be at home by myself. Like, you know, I mean, obviously my kids and all, but I'm not the out there go get on type of guy. Like I had to, but for my business and for the mission that I wanted to achieve, if I really wanted to help people and actually get people covered, man, I had to be uncomfortable with, I had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and put myself out there. And am I comfortable with it? Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little. I mean, I'm here now, so, you know, I didn't do any podcasts or anything like this for the first couple of years of my business, I think. But again, if I was going to serve the mission of helping our community, helping our people, got to do it.
I love that. I think that's what it is, because the thing about the mission is that it pulls you. You don't feel forced. You know, you contribute all your resources and sacrifice a lot of things to achieve that big goal. And hey, I'm the same. I'm a bit of I'm an introvert, and I just recently did my MBTI, my personality assessment. Yeah. And I'm a huge introvert. Yeah. Right. I thrive in my own space. Yes. Right. Not in crowded space. I thrive in my own space. But hey, look, I get uncomfortable. I just accepted an assignment to speak to government. Yep. You know, and hey, I do it because I'm doing it for the mission. I'm doing it to serve. It's not about me. But look, I love that advice around how when you started off and building your influence, you started with your friends and people that liked you, that knew you, but you still had to earn trust. That's right. What's some advice around building trust? Because I believe that is key to influence in building relationships.
So well, I think one of the key things that I find to building trust is intent, right? So you have to have intent. So if you're gonna speak to someone, actually want to speak to someone, like actually want to speak to that person. Don't just speak to that person just because they're there. Take an interest in them and what they're about. You know, like some people go, oh, what do you do for a job? Whereas I learned from someone, don't ask them that question. Ask them what inspires you about your job. And then from there, you actually get the real deep answers from what they're telling you. So asking asking certain questions is key. Learn more about them as what inspires them every day. What gets them up in the morning? You know what I mean? What's their goals, right? And when you have a genuine intent to learn about someone and their needs, then you go, oh well, this is how it can help. This is how, well, just in case something happens, this is how insurance can help, right? So I found that's helped a lot. Through our business relationships, they're just as important again. You know, you go in, I think a lot of people make the mistake of going in to take, right? So they'll go, hey, I do this, I want your business. Whereas my approach is go, hey, what's your business about? I'm really keen to learn about it. Oh, cool. is there anything that I can do to support your business, or any parts of my business that you think could add value to yours? You go in giving, right? You got to add value to people's business. I found that has really helped to gain a lot of people's trust, being real, actually wanting to know them, but also giving. And from there, they'll give back. Sometimes they'll give a little bit, sometimes they'll give a lot. Doesn't matter. Like, I've learned so much of my personal friends, my family, my business partners, that you just can't put a price on it, right?
I love that. Going in not with the mindset of trying to sell,
yes,
but going in with the mindset of trying to serve.
Yes,
I'm
right.
here to add value.
Yeah,
I'm interested in you. I'm keen to learn more about you. What moves they needed for you? What are some of your challenges? And maybe I can help. So I love that. So there's always that tough question, right? You've built this relationship. You've got the trust. They like you. Now, how do you turn that into business? How do you turn that relationship into a business relationship? Because at the end of the day, you've got to put food on the table.
Yeah, and I think, and it's kind of funny because I had this chat with one of our team members just yesterday, and he had an opportunity, and I said, okay, cool, man. Well, talk to me as if you're talking to that opportunity. And he started speaking. I said, man, and I was straight up, because the guys know that when I'm straight up, it comes from a place of goodness. Comes from a place of heart. I'm not out there to bring you down. I'm out there to pick you up, even though it may look like I'm bringing you down. And that's something my dad would say to me. But no, so in all seriousness, right? So he was, he went through a thing. I said, man, you're using too many fluff. You're using too much fluff, using too much filler words. Just get to the point. Just be real, People can smell a fake a mile away, right? And if you're not the type of person that uses these fluff words or expanding answers, don't do it. If the answer is yes, just say yes. If it's no, just say no. Don't expand on that any more than you need to. So again, I think that's and from there, that actually I got confirmation that opportunity came to life. So, and it was just through keeping it short, keeping it sweet, keeping it real, right? It's really interesting because I've heard some comments around where, there are people that come in your life where they have charisma, they look the part, they look awesome, but they lack substance. They lack that substance that actually makes them who they are. They're just trying to be something that they're not. So I'm glad that I work with a team where they're solid. What you see is what you get, what you hear is who they are. They're not pretending to be something that they're not. And as you know, through our journey in business together, man, I am who I am. It's either take it or leave it, and it's all good. Yeah,
I love that. Just keeping it authentic. And look, it's a relationship. We know each other. We like each other.
Yeah.
But just get straight to the point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, people buy from people they like. People do business with people they like. And if they don't like you, man, it's all good. Move on. You're not going to win everybody over. And I think, and it's kind of funny because there are cases now where I choose not to work with certain individuals. I choose not to work with certain people. It's just because values don't align, stay true to it. Money isn't everything, okay? And I'm really proud of our team and of our team in the Philippines because they're not people pleasers, right? They know Coversure's got certain standards, Coversure's got values, and hey man, if that doesn't align with you, all goods. I'm sure there's something or someone or a business out there that aligns with you. That's all good. We know what we do. We know we're good at what we do. We know we've got your back when something happens. That's just who we are. But if you want to find something else, or if you want to find that person that's going to bend over backwards for you, be on their knees for you, man, go out there and find it. But that's not us.
I love that. You've come back to values so many times in this conversation, and I just feel like that is a key thing that we need to highlight for our listeners.
Yeah.
Is the power, like don't underestimate the power of values.
Yes.
Like, do these clients, like even though they're my friends, do our values aligned?
Yeah, that's right.
Because if they do, then it's much more better in the long term.
Exactly.
Right? We can relate.
Exactly.
We can serve. Tell us about social media, because you mentioned that was a key factor in helping you grow your influence and your business.
Yeah.
Any advice for our listeners around using social medias like platforms like Facebook or LinkedIn to grow your influence?
Yeah. So I think social media, man, it can be a friend or it can be like a beast that just tries to tear you down like layer by layer. And I think social media was probably one of the biggest things I had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I had to be comfortable with putting myself out there. And because it was for not only the mission of getting out there, but for the business, which is helping to feed people in my team, and their families. So it's one thing I've learned is you got to be real. You have to, if you got successes, post them out. If you've done something amazing, share it. People want to see that stuff. One of the biggest obstacles for me sharing on social media was my culture, or our culture, right? Be humble. Don't do too much, son. Don't show off, son. Don't show. So everything. My first post was all around that. I don't want to do it because I don't want to show off. I don't want to see this. But man, people out there need to see it. Our people need to see it. And not even just our people, but everyone needs to see that, hey, man, there's this big brown guy out there. He's all good. He's doing good. People need to see success so that they can go, man, that guy looks like me. I'm going to try and do it myself too. And I get messages, from guys that I go, man, you're doing awesome. I needed to see that. And yeah, I'm not getting millions. I probably get the odd message every couple of months, but man, that's inspiring. That really, really, for someone to actually be that motivated to actually reach out to you and go, man, thank you for that post. I really loved it. It really helped. Or, man, it's awesome to see. What was that post I got last week? Oh, it's awesome to see another also out there, smashing it. And I just thought, far out, that's cool, And there's some other guys in my circle who are just smashing it out there. Like Orion Tier, he's smashing it. Probably one of the most vocal guys I've seen on LinkedIn. But the thing with what you see on LinkedIn and what you see on TikTok, man, that's him in real life, and that's all good. I love that about that guy, And you got Leo Poe, High Performance Builds. He's smashing it out there. He's only just getting out there on social media, but he's starting to see the benefits towards him as a person for personal development and his business. So the more we share, we can use social media and just start sharing our successes, sharing our wins. Man, that's awesome. I want to see that. That when I see other people winning, when I see your post, bro, and what you're smashing out there, man, that inspires me to do more. That goes, man, I'm going to smash that guy next week. I'm going to one-up this guy. Just kidding.
You're already beating.
Nah, man, we're winning together, right? When one wins, we all win, right? That's us.
Oh, that's so cool. See, I love that. Like, social media can be a powerful tool if you know how to use it. Yeah. And look, just like Jason talked about, yes, it can be quite uncomfortable if you've never done it before and you're always thinking about yourself. But when you start thinking about other people, then you have a different perspective. You have a different kind of confidence when posting things out, because you're posting it to help, not to kind of prove yourself, but to help support. And obviously other people inspiring you on social media as well. And hey, you inspire me, and I'm just saying that as well, not just to make you feel good, but it's actually true. I actually get inspired by your stuff.
Thanks, man.
So I mean, hey, that's why you're here on the podcast.
Yeah.
But look, you've just been so generous with not the secrets, but I guess some of the gems that's helped you in your life and help you grow your business and your influence. And it's also, I bet, will help our listeners as well. But we're coming to the end of our podcast. Just, if there's one big key takeaway you want our listeners to take from this conversation today, what would it be?
I think, if I could sum it all up, when you're meeting new people or when you're trying to create new relationships in business, my biggest thing is go in giving. Go in wanting to add value to their business. Go in wanting to, don't go in there with an expectation to take. It doesn't work that way. I don't know. I found the greatest successes that I've had in my business and with my team is when they go and going, hey man, what can I do to support you? Or what can my business do to help elevate you? Is big or small, I got you, And from there, man, things will just come your way. Trust me.
I love that. Great advice to end the show today. Go in giving. Go in giving. One of the best advice for growing your influence. And, thank you again so much for your time, my brother. Jason, a big man doing big things with a big heart, founder of Coversure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.